Hello, dear students. Welcome back to online English and German classes. I hope all of you are healthy, wealthy, and wise. Today, we are going to study about the sentence. Okay. So, in this chapter, we are going to learn the definition of a sentence, its kinds, and a few examples we'll be learning. Okay. So, without wasting your and my time, a sentence is a group of words that makes complete sense. Okay, that makes complete sense. Okay. So two things we learn here in the definition of a sentence, that it has to be a group of words. Okay, so any group of words can be a sentence. If I say the capital of France, beautiful city, Paris is. Will you call it a sentence? Or if I say, stop has the government work development, will you call it a sentence? Or if I say, demonstrating an experiment is the teacher, can you call it a sentence? Or if I say, a photograph taking is Robin, will you call it a sentence? You will laugh at me, sir. How are you teaching sentence? No, yeah. So that's what I wanted to ask you. That can any group of words be called a sentence? No. I have given you the examples. No, we cannot call any group of words a sentence. Okay, it has to be arranged in a proper way. It must make a complete sense. Here it is that it makes complete sense. I have gone by the English grammar composition here in Martin, but I think it should be a group of words that makes a complete sense. It makes a complete sense. Okay, so it has to make a complete sense. Okay, not only some sense, but it should make a complete sense. Then it can be called a sentence. Okay, so that is one thing. Now, before I go ahead, before I proceed, I will like to advise you to make at least 5 sentences, minimum 10 sentences you can make, or more than that you can make your own sentences, anything you can write. Okay. And now kinds of sentences. We are going to study some 4 kinds of sentences here. Sentences are of 4 kinds, or I should say that we are going to learn 4 kinds of sentences here. Okay, first sentence, those which make statements or assertions or declarations, such as Asia is the biggest continent in the world, or Alan Walker is a great artist, or I enjoy reading that adventurous stories, or my father is not going to office these days. So all these 4 sentences make some declarations or statements. Okay, so you notice it is one kind of a sentence. Okay, now we will define it later on. Okay, now second is those sentences which ask questions. For examples, we have, how is your headache, when is your appointment scheduled, or I should ask you, how are your days going on, or do you like to be confined to the 4 walls of your house during lockdown? Okay, so, or have you completed your work, or which movie did you watch the last day? Okay, so these are all questions. Now we have third kind of the sentence, those sentences which express commands, requests, or entreaties. Entreaties in fact can be called request only. It can be command, it can be request, it can be entreaties, it can be suggestion, it can be advice, it can be warning, or it can be threatening, all these kinds of sentence. So here you will notice, dear students, that in this kind of a sentence, generally the subject is, not generally, but the subject is hidden. and we begin the sentence with verb. Please note, in the first sentence, get out, please let us go, shut the window, bring your book to me, bring me a glass of water, okay, and call the police. So in all these sentences, dear students, what do you notice? Okay, what I notice is that all these sentences begin with finite verb and the subject is hidden. Okay, that is something we'll discuss later on. So now moving on to the next kind of sentence, those sentences which express strong feelings or emotions. Shame on you, what a day, what a lovely flower it is, what a boring day it is, what a boring lecture it was, what an interesting boy he is. Okay, so all these, I mean, any sentence which shows sudden feeling or emotions can, okay, so four kinds of sentences we have discussed. Now we will define the first kind of sentences which we discussed, and we had some 4-5 examples. So that is called declarative or assertive sentence. Please do learn the definition. Okay, second kinds of sentence which are used to ask questions are called interrogative sentence. Okay, so third kind of sentence that expresses command or an entreaty or request is called an imperative sentence. Okay, imperative sentence means now remember that third kind of a sentence that begins with a finite verb. In this third kind of a sentence, imperative sentence, actually the subject is always hidden, like shut the door, come here, go there. Okay, now fourth kind of sentence, a sentence that expresses strong feeling, is called an exclamatory sentence. Okay, we have already discussed the examples. Okay, so we have four kinds of sentence here. So still I have time, so shall I revise? Okay, let's revise. Okay, so the sentence, kinds of sentence and examples. For definition, it has to be a group of words and it must make a complete sense. Second, kinds of sentences, sentences which make statements or assertions. Okay, second, sentences which ask questions. Third, sentences which are used to express commands, requests, advice, suggestion, threatening, warning, etc. and etc. And these kinds of sentences begin with finite verb and the subject is hidden here. Next, those sentences which express strong feelings or emotions. Okay, now the definitions, a sentence that makes a statement or assertion is called a declarative or an assertive sentence. Second one is a sentence that asks a question is called an interrogative sentence. Now a sentence that expresses a command or an entreaty, a request, a suggestion, an advice, a threatening, a warning is called an imperative sentence. Fourth, a sentence that expresses strong feeling is called an exclamatory sentence. Now dear students, I would like to ask you to make at least 3 sentences of each group, means a total of 12 sentences you are advised to write. Thank you very much. God bless you. Keep praying for me.